Hi, I'm Matt from Parksure. Now, we've had a few storms recently with Dudley, Eunice, and Franklin all appearing in less than 7 days. God knows why the Met Office deem it necessary to name them. I suppose it's so they feel more personal when they're trying to take the roof off your property. I digress. I had meant to do a blog at the time, but I was too busy dealing with the aftermath of the storms and the claims that followed to get round to it. But hopefully you'll be able to heed my advice before Gladys comes a-knocking at your door. Watch out for Gladys. I hear she can be a real handful. The point of this blog is to hopefully help you plan ahead of the storm so you'll be prepared, hopefully avoiding any problems or at the very least minimize any damage that may be caused. Now, before the storm, I'm going to talk to you about a list of things you might want to do before the storm. Try and get in the habit of doing these things every year during the good weather. Spring is ideal, as if anything needs doing or repairing, the tradesmen will hopefully not be too busy. Remember, some repairs they can't do in bad weather or winter, and they will be booked solid after a major storm. So get in the habit of doing a spring check on your property the same time you do your spring clean. Have a look at our general maintenance tips for spring and winter for more details on this. Check your roof. Look for missing or loose tiles, any signs of damage or potential damage that could be made worse by a storm. If you do have any damage, you might want to get a professional out to have a look and quote. Check and make sure TV aerials and satellite dishes are secure. Keep the gutters clear of moss, leaves, debris, and make sure they're working well. Try giving them a clean to minimize any build-up, and use a watering can to make sure the water is flowing freely. If your gutters are overflowing during a light storm, then something's going wrong, and you may want to get someone out to look at it. You don't want to find out there's a blockage in the downpipe in the middle of a heavy storm. Secure any fences you may have, if any. Make sure the fence panels are secure. The same with gates. Make sure they're in good working order and can be securely locked. Garden furniture, children's toys, garden gnomes and other ornaments can be a risk if not secured properly, and can even turn into missiles if there's a strong storm winds. Trampolines are dangerous at the best of times, let's face it, but can cause huge amounts of damage in high winds. We've all seen the videos of trampolines rolling down the street, or the picture of one on someone's second-story roof. Take them down or risk them ending up in someone else's garden. Look around your property for any potential risks. Trees are a classic example of what you should be keeping an eye on during the better weather. Does a tree look rotten or dying? Do the limbs look in danger of dropping on your property at the best of times, let alone in high winds or in a storm? If you're worried, get in touch with the park owner who should be maintaining these trees on the park. Remember, some trees may have a TPO on them. It's a tree preservation order if you're not aware. So sometimes it's not so easy to start lopping off limbs. And of course, keep windows and doors shut and secured. Store emergency kits. Make sure you have an emergency bag full of essential. A bug out bag, you may have heard him called. It should be full of essentials only. Emergency warm clothing, waterproofs, blankets, medication, torches, spare batteries for the torches, bottled water, radio, wind-up radio if possible, food rations, as the fridge may go off of course, lists of emergency numbers. Make sure your mobile is fully charged in case you need it during the storm. Insurance, of course, most importantly, make sure you have your insurance documents in hand in case the worst happens and you have to leave your property because it's been damaged in a storm. Remember that even if you think you're fine, the emergency services may not, and they may wish to evacuate you to storm and flooding. Flooding especially, even if it doesn't touch your property, can cut off electricity and water in your area, making it impossible to get in and out of your property. If you cannot stay in your property, you may be able to claim for emergency accommodation on your insurance policy. All good insurance policies have them, if there is any accommodation available, of course. It tends to get booked up pretty quick following a disaster. Which brings me on to this. What to do if your home is damaged during the storm. If your property is damaged, contact your insurance company using the emergency numbers in your policy documents as soon as possible. Remember, they will be busy as well due to the sheer number of calls they'll be dealing with. So it pays to contact them as soon as you're able to, especially if you need to move out, because they can get you into accommodation before it gets booked up. Let them know what's happened and what's damaged. Don't worry too much if you notice something that's damaged or missing afterwards. It's more important to get the claim set up, and then they can instruct any tradesmen or loss adjusters, put you in temporary accommodation, and get the ball rolling, particularly if it's substantial damage. Try to minimize any damage if you can safely. Don't take any unnecessary risks. Use plastic sheets for temporary repairs if you have any holes in the roof or elsewhere, if you've got plastic sheets, of course. Turn off the electrics if water's penetrated the electrics or is over the plugs. Unplug any electrical items that may have blown or smell of burning. Be wary of any appliances or lights that are hanging down. Take any photographs of the damage you can, and keep any damaged items, if safe to do so, in case they need to view them. Any receipts you may have for any damaged items to prove ownership and original cost will help with the claim process. Have a word with the park owner, as they will no doubt know someone who specialises in park or leisure home repairs in preparation for your insurer to review. As mentioned earlier, your insurer will be busy, as will a lot of tradesmen after a big event like this. So be wary of people who just turn up on the park after a storm or flood. Disasters tend to bring out the best and worst in people, and after a big storm or flood, a lot of scammers and dodgy tradesmen come out of the woodwork. Don't risk turning one disaster into another. And finally, be one of the good ones following a disaster. Check on your friends and neighbours who may need your help. Keep in touch with family and friends who will no doubt be worried about you too. And above all, look after yourself. Your property and contents are replaceable. You are not.